Whenever you chase after dopamine, you are abandoning the deepest part of yourself. The truth is, you are too conscious to chase after dopamine hits. You've come too far. That used to work for you in the past, but right now you've come a long way, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, to always seek that hit of dopamine. It used to bring you pleasure, but now you're seeing that it's not that pleasurable. In fact, it's more painful. See, this is what happens. When we are constantly chasing after dopamine hits through whatever ways, there are many ways to get that dopamine hit these days, without getting into all the examples. When you do that, you become overstimulated. You lack presence and depth. You won't be able to enjoy the simplicity of life because you are always seeking novelty, more and more stimulation, more and more pleasure through unnatural means. And the truth is, dopamine doesn't give you pleasure. It just gives you that feeling of motivation. So that's why when you are binge watching TV, for example, or drinking or gambling or doing whatever it is, social media or whatever, scrolling, whenever you do that, there's always the sense of, I need more, this is not enough, this is not satisfying. It satisfies me for a moment. I get that hit of dopamine, but then things just flatten out and I start to feel empty. Because we weren't meant to chase dopamine in that way. And you know, it's not only with social media and TV and drinks and food and whatever. It's also in these days, you can be caught up in constantly thinking about what you're trying to manifest and attract in life. That gives you dopamine spikes. But with that, you become overstimulated. And you get bored quickly. And then you get trapped in that loop of, I need to constantly think about what it is I want. Try to manifest it even more through my thoughts, through my feelings, through focusing on it entirely. No, let go of that. The truth is, life can be enjoyed through simplicity. And in the beginning, when you say, okay, no more dopamine hits for me, I'm just gonna be and take life as it is, go through it naturally. Initially, you feel the sense of boredom, this emptiness, this longing, even frustration. But what I'm asking you to do is push through that. See it for what it is, just a habit. That is just your body and mind reacting to you not feeding it that dopamine hit, that stimulation that you've been always feeding it. So it's normal that once you stop stimulating your mind and body, you get bored, you get frustrated, things come up, negative things come up. But it's so possible, and it's even, I'd argue, easy to let that go, to push past that. Because on the other side of that is the real pleasure of life. See, the pleasure that comes from scrolling or drinking or eating is very dissatisfying because it doesn't give you true satisfaction. But the pleasure that comes from just being connected to life, watching, listening, meditating, sitting in silence and quiet, having a good conversation with somebody else, where you feel connected to them, things like that. They satisfy you way, way more than constantly stimulating your mind, seeking novelty, 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 and getting that dopamine hit from wherever. So you are in a good part, a good stage in life. You're learning that chasing after dopamine does not work. And sooner or later, you're going to find that it's more painful to chase after dopamine than it is to sit through the boredom, the emptiness. And I guarantee you, if you sit through the boredom and emptiness, you're going to experience life the way it's meant to be experienced. Not being bored and empty, but on the other side of that, beauty, peace, bliss. But it's subtle, joy. It's not hyped up. It's not like that instant dopamine hit, that stimulation. No, it's calm, it's subtle. And from there, you grow. You enjoy life the way it's meant to be enjoyed. You get grounded in the present moment. You feel grounded in your body. The simple things, the little things, they are the things that will bring you joy. And because it's the simple and little things that make up our life. But when we're chasing dopamine, we always think that it's the big things that make up our life. Even though the big things are very temporary, they last for just a little of time. And yet we make it into this big thing, into this very, very important thing and we put all our faith into it as if it's gonna save us from this emptiness, from whatever we feel. And so we hype it up in our minds and put all our focus and energy towards it, ignoring all the simple and little things that satisfy us. And then we end up feeling disappointed, frustrated, empty. So do yourself a favor and keep going on the path, though it's hard, of not chasing dopamine, but being connected to life, the simplicity of it. And I find that being out in nature, surrounded by trees and birds and grass or whatever, or being with people, or even being alone, doesn't matter, but just in silence, these things, they can seem painful at first, not exciting, not pleasurable at first, but on the other side, if you push through that, I guarantee you, there will be peace. There will be a sense of subtle joy, connectedness. That's my message for you today. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time. Peace.